You've been lounging with Skipper. You've been lounging with Skipper.
Yo, 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 yo. Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Loungin with Skip. Tuned in. For those that don't know, this podcast is about me talking to music producers, singers, songwriters, directors, anybody dealing with the entertainment industry, and talking about their journey to success or their journey to being successful. Either or, but just about talking to them about their path. Today I'm sitting with a brother from my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. He's a music producer, songwriter. One of the dopest producers in St. Louis. I've heard about this brother. It may have been 2000. It had to be around the time after Jenna came with that. After we came with that record, if not, maybe a little bit after that. I started hearing all these during them beat battles that whatchamacallit was having. DJ Who.
Mm-hmm.
Trifeckta in the place to be, y'all.
Appreciate it.
Welcome, man. So how's it feel being out here for this vacation? I mean,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is beautiful out here.
Mm-hmm.
Even the long drive, I appreciate that. Listen to a podcast or something on the way, and the people, the food, the different events I've been to, the opportunities I come across, everything's beautiful.
Could you see yourself moving out here?
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that anything is that in the talks and?
I told myself in about 3 more years, 2 to 3 more years, I would be making a move.
Okay.
To wherever. So basically, LA's a possibility, Atlanta's a possibility, Vancouver's a possibility,
okay.
Toronto's a possibility, wherever.
Why Okay, you just threw Vancouver in.
Well, I've heard good things about Vancouver.
Okay.
I'm a more low key person,
okay.
So it doesn't have to be where all the action is.
Okay.
As long as I can, stay productive where I'm at and, kind of chill and vibe out and keep creating, good stuff that people like.
So what started you into music? Were you born, were your parents involved, or was it something you just fell in love with as a kid?
Coming up in a church family, you got my grandmother, she played piano and organ. Different cousins played drums, uncle, bass. Aunts, mother, father, singers in the choir, different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Music was always around, almost to the point where I took it for granted because I really didn't started even thinking or wrapping my head around myself being involved in creating music seriously until about maybe 03, 04, 05 when I kind of started dabbling. Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you say, let me try to get into doing this beat thing.
Not necessarily that. It was something to do at first. I had a cousin, my cousin Gary, the Ties Productions. He's still producing also. He introduced me to it through I think it was MTV Music Generator, just something we found, and his mom was all about providing us with stuff to do to keep us out of trouble, keep us out of the streets, keep us in the house safe. Kind of messing with that. Then he expounded on that and got a Triton, Chord Triton keyboard workstation.
Now, before we get into that,
yeah.
What high school did you? Well, what area are you from?
I'm from pretty much every area. Beecham Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much where I was from birth to maybe about middle school.
Okay.
Moved from there to Baltimore, Maryland with my mom and my sister.
Okay.
My mom took a job out there. And then from Baltimore to Houston, Texas, there was an opportunity down there for her to make more money.
Okay.
So we went down there. Houston was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had an opportunity to just come back home to St. Louis and asked if, we thought we might be interested in going back home. And I was like, sure, why not? So my senior year, I came back to St. Louis and graduated from Parkway North.
Okay.
But yeah, most of my family, Meacham Park, U City, North Side, West Side.
What did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Lindenwood University for a couple years. I was supposed to go to Northern Arizona to play basketball. Kind of dropped the ball that summer on everything that I was responsible for doing.
Okay.
So then the plan turned into, well, just go to Lindenwood, try to make the team, stay there for maybe a year or two, and then transfer out.
You want to town, man? I know it's.
Oh no, I'm fine. Yeah,
it's hot up here. Y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. It's
still not as hot as St. Louis right now.
You know what? You know what the difference is out here is the fact that it's hot, but it's not that hot, that heat to where you go outside and my glasses fog up.
Right, it's drier here. Like the humidity in St. Louis is so oppressive.
Yeah. It's hot, but it's not like drenched sweat hot.
Yeah.
Like it is in St. Louis. So, okay, so you went to Lindenwood and you got your associates from Lindenwood?
No, I went to Lindenwood and I was at college kind of not knowing what I wanted to do, but the thing was to go and just kind of.
Now, around what year was this?
2000. Yeah, about 2000, 2001, 2002-ish.
Okay.
Met a bunch of cool people there that I still am friends with to this day. Everybody, did their own things, but one of my roommates, one of my friends at the time, he was a singer. He played keys for different churches, and he also, he had a Roland XP80, I believe, and he would make beats on there, and that piqued my interest. So I started doing that, coupled with the little that I knew from PlayStation games and stuff like that.
So where did it for you get to a point where you said, okay, who's the first artist that everybody would know in St. Louis that you worked with, where it was like, okay, I'm digging this?
It would be Rucker Puff and Rockwell Knuckles, those two, like right around the same time.
What year was that? So the turkey burger?
Turkey ham and the turkey burger.
So turkey ham.
Yeah.
So that song for you, but you was like in different beat battles and stuff before that, though.
Yeah, beat battles in St. Louis, like it wasn't that many people onto it like that. But for the ones that were there, like everybody was engaged and excited about it. We did that. We were doing beat battles. I don't know. The time gets fuzzy right around like 2007. Well, shoot, for me, like really around 2005 to 2011. Like it's just a long stretch where I was reactionary, just doing stuff, not really even keeping track of time and dates for real. But I think right around the beat battles led me to like Tefpo, Rockwell Knuckles, and also Rucker Puff.
So were you a part of? You weren't a part of the Force, were you? Or
you
was a part of the Force.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where pretty much it kind of began for you. So
everything hit right around the same time, like when something happened.
Corey Black did the finger in my nose.
And all.
Okay.
Right around then.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like 2008, 2009.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Okay. So around that time, that's when I started hearing your name a lot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Trifecta. And I think going to them beat battles and it's one thing where, and I can tell you're the kind of producer where you'll have things going on, like small things, subtle things going on, but the beat is constantly going. It's not a dry spot in the beat.
Okay.
That's what I've noticed as an instrumentalist. What I peeped about your production, and everybody has their own kind of style, but I can kind of I can sense your. There's something about it. I just can't really pinpoint it, but it's just something that kind of keeps the driving force behind it, and it honestly sounds like TV music.
Okay, yeah.
TV, like background TV and film music. I think that's something you should expand on.
Yeah, that's definitely in the plans. That was another reason for coming out here too, just kind of making a couple new friends, checking on a couple of the current ones. And building those relationships and trying to forge new ones. I've been doing music for vlogs and podcasts in the same vein of what you were talking about. And yeah, TV is definitely something. Movies definitely something that I have kind of.
Because that's something that I've been something that I've been studying on. You know what I mean? Because as a music producer, we can do so many different things.
Right.
As far as, you know, having our music placed on TV and film where we can get royalty checks, passive income, regardless of an artist.
Exactly.
So we have that option to be able to look. And so, you know, whereas artists, they need the production to be able to back them. They can't just rap on songs or whatever, sing on songs just a cappella. They people want to hear the music to be able to drive. So we are a very powerful impact within the music industry.
Right.
So you came out here to, you know what I'm saying, to meet up with different people. What's the latest you've been doing back home? Back in St. Louis?
Mostly the podcast. I've been working with a group called The Knuckles. That's Rockwell Knuckles and Aloha Michelle. Kind of helping put their projects together. They have a few, well, just over the past few years have recorded like over at least like 80 songs. So it's just kind of, I guess, getting my feet wet in like A&Ring and advising and producing on a larger level than just making the beat or recording the artist. And then also too, just trying to help facilitate different situations for other producers looking for outlets for their beats, whether it be trying to get them to come in town for a beat battle, creating a beat battle and running it out of town. And then coming up here, one of my missions was to get some of my producers, get their names circulating around in different offices, play some music.
So you have producers like up under you?
Yeah, like not officially. I don't want to be the guy to bother you until, we have something definitive going. Because what I found is, if you take the time out to sit down with somebody and let them know that you're trying to do this for them and that's the goal, and you're pressuring them to produce and give you things that you can go take to somebody else. Well, when you go to take it to somebody else, there's this big waiting period, and it doesn't have a definitive start and end date, and it kind of puts you in a position where you're managing not only the producer's product but also their emotions too. I don't want you get the call or the text like, hey, so what's the latest, or hey, what's going on with this bit. It's like, and I'm finding that's that comes with it regardless but the producers that I'm doing it for right now, they're honestly like good guys that I associate with regardless of the opportunity. So
and what I realized in that instance, 'cause I used to be like that, and I realized that with certain things you have to make the track, record the track, and let it just fly to the world. And keep it moving on whatever else you were doing.
Exactly.
And act as if that never happened, or just act as if that particular energy is already out there and I'm on to something else.
Exactly.
And then you never know that something that you let flourish could come back and say, hey, we have this bag for you. We found this
years
bag.
Years later. And that's what I'm trying to, some of my younger ones, that's what I'm trying to convey to them. Like, yes, this is a fire beat right now. It's probably the best you've made to date. But it's a dated sound because it's right now. And I know you're not thinking about it, but within like the next year or two, this sound may not be in demand. So holding on it until Rick Ross called back, like that might not be the thing to do.
Right.
You can build with somebody who's current right now.
And still put it out. And that's one thing as producers, even though you send your beat out to somebody to record or whatever it is to it, if nothing is written in stone, you can have that beat
still
being recorded by other artists as well. And you never know what can pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing is stuck in stone. And you can continue to make more music to just keep, building. It's like beats become like real estate.
Right.
It's like what did you say the other day? It's like seeds, you know what I'm saying? You planting these different seeds around in your garden, and that they're gonna grow in hopes that, and knowing that they're gonna grow. Yeah. But you have to keep creating those seeds. You have to keep making, burying those seeds for them to grow. You can't just focus on the one seed.
Yeah, that was another thing too about getting out to LA is it's a different market than St. Louis by far.
Very different.
So in St. Louis, the ceiling of opportunities is lower by far. LA, you come out here, is way more people. It is way more competitive, but it's way more opportunities too. So when I went into a studio this weekend, not even planning to, play anything for anybody, the artists that I did end up playing stuff for, not only, did they like it, but they're already a little bit more mature in how they handle the situation business-wise from being out here, that they know, I like this right now, I'm gonna write to this right now, I'm gonna listen to it several times right now. And when me and my management come back to the table and we decide we want to go with this track, we will hit you back and make sure it's still available.
Right.
Just along with all the other tracks that they have cataloged that they're trying to mix and match with to put together a project.
It's once again, it's one of those things how now the industry is a lot different than what it was 10 years ago. And I'm realizing that more now in today's day and age. That whereas before, producers would get that upfront fee. If somebody walked with the track, they got to pay you right now. Whereas now, it's not even about that. It's like, all right, well, you can, before you have like beat snippets and stuff like that, have beat snippet CDs and all that. Well, those snippets, that doesn't fly anymore. Having your tags running through the beats and all that shit don't fly no more. You gotta for real just say fuck it and just send out the MP3. You know what I'm saying? Of the full beat. Now it's the MP3. It's not the WAV file. It's not the stems.
Exactly.
It's just the MP3 file. So they send that shit. If somebody takes that and puts it up on iTunes, trying to be sneaky, like, nigga, I'm gonna record this and put it out on my album, nigga, and put it up on iTunes. Okay, well, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You put that up on iTunes, I find out about it, I'm just gonna register that shit. You know what I mean? On ASCAP. And get my 50%. I may even get the 100. You know what I mean? Depending. So it's just one of those. Well, I'm probably kicking some game right now.
No, that's what this for.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like no matter what, we can cover ourselves. I was talking to a producer this past weekend, last weekend or last week, whatever. And he was telling me, he was like, there's so many different ways of handling the business as a producer. Like, it's all about what it is you want to do. You know what I mean? The artists, they're the ones that want the beat, you know what I mean? So it's about what it is you want to do. But, that's why I was so thankful, and I feel thankful to have something like an ASCAP or a BMI, because you can just register the music. And now the downside to that is, when that artist goes behind your back and they want to put the album out or whatever, they go through TuneCore or whatever, they obviously, whatever the immediate streams on those songs, whatever, are coming to their account. Or even if the song gets licensed through YouTube, that's probably getting sent. But throughout that, in the ASCAP report or that royalty statement, that comes back as well. So we eventually see that. So yeah, as far as the whole thing with artists nowadays being nervous on, giving away the MP3s, go ahead and just go ahead, man. It's just the MP3. If they take that and use that as a final version for the album, then this wasn't that serious for them anyway.
That's my conversation that I usually have with my producers. It's like, there's a few different ways that this can play out. You can give them this beat, and they have this beat, and they didn't pay anything, and they never record anything on it, and it's still your beat, and nothing is lost. They could take this beat and they could record on it and put a song out and not pay you, and you could pursue legally if you would like to, or you could just sit back and make sure you register it on your side and get what you can get, and not deal with that artist anymore, because there are artists that doesn't value their work because they just rolling with an MP3 instead of getting the stems. And most artists now, like, they want the stems. They want it to be exclusive. They want to pay for it to, lock it down.
Sure. Right.
They want that originality. So,
it's like, you got artists, nowadays we're in the day and age too where artists don't necessarily have to put out mixtapes or even an album. They just want to put out a song and do a video for it and put it up on YouTube. Because, a lot of it, especially for the younger crowd, younger generation, they want to basically have the visuals. So they'll record to your beat, shoot a video for it. The video may do 1.5 million views. You know what I mean? Now you've seen this video blow up that you did the beat for and you didn't get paid. Well, you can go register the song, and ASCAP picks up the YouTube streams of it as well. So, it's one of those things. As a producer, you have to be smart. You have to be smart. You have to handle your business for yourself. No one's gonna handle it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Has there been any outside artists besides? Well, what all artists have you worked with in St. Louis?
Pretty much all the artists that you mentioned that were tied to the Force. Tepo, Rocco Knuckles, Grease Payne.
So you was on Tef So Tef he's been becoming successful, and it's been a long journey for him. I remember producing some songs that he was on. This was back in 2003.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When he was Teflon Poetics.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that was 15 years ago. So it's just interesting seeing how far he's come to now. How was it? You produced on all those albums that he's released in the past?
Just about. I know the DJ Burn one was pretty much all DJ Burn one. But yeah, my goal with the artists that I started out with early on is I don't have to produce the whole thing.
Right.
Save me a spot though. We'll sit down, we'll listen to some tracks, see if anything sticks. I'm not trying to just force myself into the situation.
Right.
It's just trying to make good music and be a part of, be surrounded by good music. My beat, my song doesn't have to be the best on there, but it does have to hold its own weight. And that helps me feel proud about the situation, the placement or whatever, because it's surrounded by other great music.
Yeah. And so something like that, the business gets handled and everything like that.
Yeah, Tef's real good with everything. Like, I don't... Him and Stretch do a great job. They look out for me. I don't even... initially I would double check. I don't even double check anymore. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who
more in the city.
In the city, yeah.
I did do a track... me and Fresco going back and forth currently. I really want to get some really good songs with him done. So we're going to get some more reps in and see if we can get like a couple good bangers out of maybe 10, 12 attempts. That's what I like to do too. If I'm really feeling an artist, we gonna go in. Yeah,
because I know him and Tef got an album done. I don't know,
Tef got an album done.
I don't know when they're gonna release it.
Tef got an album done with a few people that I got on my hard drive. I'm like, so when are y'all dropping this? I'll listen to it by myself.
Just all this music.
Yeah, but that's also the thing too. I kind of get it in the sense that why hurry up to push all this stuff out when everybody can consume it and be done with it in 4 days.
Right. So pretty much it can still, because whatever is being put out later is still new to the ears of the masses.
Exactly.
So
especially when you're doing it and it's not dated. It's not a dated sound. And that's why I love my St. Louis artists, because for the most part we will take our shots at making something that sounds on trend or in the time that's right now. But for the most part, because we're drawing from so many different inspirations, being in the middle of the map, we just always default to creativity. And
now, do you have a problem when artists they be like, yeah, just send me the beat? I know for me that time changed. I was like, damn, because I used to be in the studio with the artists.
Yeah.
And when I had made my project that I did, my business card, a lot of those beats was being sent off to the artists and then they send back. Yeah. And I wasn't used to that. So I know today that's what it all is. How do you feel about that process?
I'm not really mad at it, because that's for the most part all I know.
Oh, okay.
Being that I started making beats just to make beats, and then from just to make beats to beats for beat battles, getting to a point where people wanted my beats to rap on, to make songs out of, and all of that, it took some time. And when it finally got to that time, I felt accepted. So to a certain extent, I know that there was, business to be handled, but at the same time, just kind of objectively looking at it, it's okay, this artist is really good. He's from my town. I know how to find him when I need. I got his number. But also, they not signed yet. They not having any talks with nobody on a big level. This is fine. I can deal with this. I'm more hesitant, I guess, when I'm dealing with, or in the beginning, I was more hesitant when I started dealing with A&Rs and label representatives and artists that were on actual labels, organized situations, because for the most part, I knew that I didn't know everything on the business side. So I knew I was wide open.
Right.
and that's usually where a lot of people get taken for a little ride or whatever. But at the same time, I really just felt like, so what? They're gonna take it and turn it into a hit,
right?
And then I have to like go get my money.
Mm-hmm. But
there's money there to get because
right.
they turned into a hit,
mm-hmm.
so I'm okay with that.
Gotcha. Tell me this: what artists outside of St. Louis have you worked with?
Let's see. We'll dig way back. Jackie Chain. He's an artist I dealt with. Made a couple songs with Tony Williams, Fiend, Gangsta Boo. That was a track that she did with the homie Gotta Be Kareem.
Okay, that was you. You did that track. Okay, yeah, he did a video for that, right?
Yeah. He shot it out here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You have to forgive me because off the top of my head, I can't really.
So
it's about maybe 10 to 15, I guess, and then I've worked with a lot more,
mm-hmm.
and the songs may not have made the cut or been released, mm-hmm. and you know how that is. But yeah, I've worked with a few people outside of St. Louis as well. Okay, been that fortunate.
Okay, so what do you see yourself like? Going, moving towards from this point. As far as how music is, and you just having like producers to where are you open to collaborate with other producers and things?
That's
like
actually what I'm big on doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Collaborating with a producer named Ye Kane, collaborating with Jackpot Hits, collaborating with True on the Track, collaborating with Matthew Thurman, collaborating with, these are all guys that I really like and see something in St. Louis that are accessible, that would ask me on the regular like different questions about stuff. And if I have when I have the opportunities that I've had, and I know that I don't have what they're looking for, like as far as like the label or the artist, then I just go to them and we'll make something original or take it just directly from them and say, okay, I'm gonna represent you on this, and we'll see if we can get it matched up and where it needs to go. Also collaborated with producers, Romania, Romania, Croatia, Paris, Australia. Wherever.
Now, when you collaborate with these producers, do they have to bring certain things to the table? What if one producer just wants to lay a kick? Is that really him producing, or you know what I mean? If he just lays the kick down. Yeah,
more than likely, I picked him for that. Like, there's a song that working on with Tef Poe that I put together, 2 producers, and the one producer had most of the track pretty much laid out, but I knew this other producer had drums that would make that sound that much better. So we put that together, and that's a collaborative works that we put together. And
so you Quincy Jones the situation.
On a very un-Quincy Jones level. not that good with it, but I'm getting my feet wet in that also, because like I do still like to create, but now that I'm a little bit further in my journey of creating and trying to do all these things and facilitate, like I feel like I'm better. Like all my time that I've been doing all these things is helped put me in a position where right now I'm best suited to really be successful as far as putting together helping put together records, and helping present them to whoever might be the new lucky owner or whatever.
Okay. Is there any artist that you would love to work with? Not like, well, I'm pretty sure you work with everybody down there in St. Louis, but outside of St. Louis, just in general.
I was just talking to the homie Trifeckta about some stuff, and I had like a wish list of like.
Just do a record for what's the name of that group?
Run the Jewels. Yeah. They're definitely on my wish list. I mean, Jay-Z on everybody's wish list, right? Who's not going? I mean, I guess you can not. But
I'm not gonna sit up and say like on a realistic level, but just like on a level of at arm's reach where you can basically somebody use like, you know what, I think I can make that happen, or I think that can happen.
Man, just being out here this weekend just changed my whole perception of what can and can't happen. So, like a Denzel Curry, an Audio Push, those are people that like just to me are phenomenal and really good at what they do. and can do a lot of different things, and I'm versatile with my sound, so I think we could, of course it'll sound crazy, but like I've gotten past making it sound crazy, and I want to make it, something that evokes a physical reaction from people, because that's usually when you got a good one. Maybe like maybe work with Chance the Rapper, maybe work with Smino.
Okay.
Maybe work with
Smino, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, from St. Louis.
Okay, yeah.
Out of Chicago. Yeah.
I heard about him. He's like popular in St. Louis, but he's like, really?
He him and his other friends that produce, they all honed their craft here. Took it to, I believe, Chicago, incubated it even more.
Here is LA?
No, I'm sorry, in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just speaking St. Louis. It put me in the mind frame that that's where we were right now.
So yeah, so they honed their craft in St. Louis and took it to Chicago.
And expounded on it and I guess linked up with some more people on the business end and made it kind of go.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, that sounds like a good list, man.
There's so many more. Working with a guy in Atlanta, Renegade El Ray.
Okay.
He's an engineer and artist. Really, really dope. I'm excited to start working with him. That was somebody that, up until when I connected with him, he was on my wish list. Like,
okay.
Yeah, just really low key.
Yeah.
But phenomenal.
Yeah.
In a good position as well.
So just to end saying this episode off, what is something that you would let an up and coming producer, who may be sitting back, not sure of his tracks, or not sure of what it is that he, what direction he wants to go. What's something that you can, if you was sitting right here in front of you, that you would let, or her, that you would let him or her know? What
I had been telling producers, because I'm kind of in the same place, even with my own instrumental project that I want to put out next. It's like, I know I have some good beats, and I know I have some okay beats, and I have to figure out which ones I want to use and showcase to people. And I might be kind of self-conscious about showcasing it, but at the end of the day, with the way technology is, what we could do is we could start to move forward on it by putting together the playlist or the set list on your SoundCloud and making it private, and just let it exist there. And just keep going back to it and playing it or whatever. Give somebody else the the private link to it or whatever. Let them check it out, or the Dropbox link. Let them check it out. Start to get feedback, and then at the end of the day, just go ahead and make plans to put it out yourself, digitally distribute it yourself. You can go CD Baby or DistroKid. Yeah, you got all these different tools, and yeah, it's gonna cost them a little something, but that's nothing, because that's your project, that's your baby, that's what you want to showcase, and it kind of gives you the reps of how things should go, and you got to start somewhere, so you might
sign up with a pro.
Yeah, and also make sure you ASCAP, BMI, whatever you rocking with, have that, and along with doing the digital distribution, you'll be getting good experience firsthand of how things do and don't work, and then you can do the next one better.
Right. So you dropping, because you haven't dropped your own project yet, so that's in the works.
I've dropped a couple.
Can people go on Spotify right now and listen to an album?
No, they're not on Spotify. I just kind of let them sit.
Where?
I think there's one on Bandcamp. There was one on SoundCloud. I might have taken it down. I just went through a phase back when I took them down years ago where I wasn't sure.
Right.
So I just took them down. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me take these back. Let me sit on them. I know they could be mixed better. I know this, that, and the other. And I just haven't put them back up yet. But once I put out my new project, maybe October-ish, I haven't really given it a hard date yet. At least by February, because my birthday's in February, so I figure maybe if it goes that far, we'll release it to the wild in February, but I do want to get it out sooner. And then after I drop that, I'll start uploading all my other stuff and, put it in distro or whatever, and let those rock too.
You got to keep that content out there. So how can people reach you? They want to contact you. If artists want to contact you for beats, singers or whatnot, how can people reach you?
I'm pretty much on every social media platform. The @ Trifecta, Trifeckkta. Yes, like 9 letters. I didn't think it through when I made it up. Everybody spells it wrong, and that's why maybe sometimes when I see people out, they look at me funny because I didn't return their email. They just lost the letter in the email address. And then the email address itself is Trifecta Presents.
Okay.
At Gmail all together. And again, that's a long one.
Right.
Whole a bevy of ways to get it wrong. Right. But when you get it right, I do respond to everybody.
But when they do go to your Instagram, then all the information is there. They can reach you and get all that.
My email address is definitely on my Instagram.
Because I will put that in the bio up under.
Yeah, once you give me and if you don't see information that you need there, you can DM me. It's not private. Just hit me up. I'll respond and see what we can do.
Hey, Trifecta, man, I appreciate you coming through, man, you know what I'm saying, and lounging with me.
It's been a long time, and I'd rather come out here to lounge with you than try to catch you on a random off day in St. Louis. So,
right,
yeah, this is perfect.
So this is, welcome to the spot. You
yes,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is, so I appreciate you, my brother.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Anytime.
And until next time.
Yes.
Peace.